Well, here it is. The two that we wanted to see play each other in a way, because these are the two guys that still both have a chance for Senior Player of the Year.
I agree with you. It's very much up for grabs, even though I feel Gary Dickinson has had the better year up to this point. This tournament carries a lot of weight. You know, we talked, Mike, earlier about the possibility that Gary Dickinson might decide to make Gene-Stus finish on the left-hand lane because he's had more trouble with lane 31 than obviously he did 32. And here we see Gary Dickinson letting Gene start the match on that particular lane, which means Gene-Stus will finish on lane 32, the lane he's had the most success on. So obviously Gary Dickinson in his mind would rather be the aggressor and feels he can beat him, and he's not going to play defense.
Do you like that attitude?
I do. I feel that you should be aggressive and go out for the win rather than hope the other guy has some problems. So forget about his game. Go out and make good shots on your own. And if you do that, you should come out quite well. And Gary Dickinson is a great shot maker.
Ooh. You know, his last couple of practice balls, he went high, and there's a little correction there. He leaves the 2-pin coming in late.
Didn't roll it well either. Gary got that ball off his hand a little oddly. It actually rolled up over the thumb hole a little bit, I think, and it's not Gary. It was almost like he was trying to be too careful, trying to fit it a little bit. Not a good release. We're going to take a look at Gary's game here. This is one of the finest stylists ever to play the game, in my opinion. Gary Dickinson, the real loose arm swing. But what we're going to look at is his shoulder position at the top of the backswing. It's very unique. Right here. We're going to stop right there and take a look at Gary. Here you see the foot at the top of the swing, but look at the angle of the shoulders here. He opens up his right shoulder. At the point of release, he squares it back up at the foul line. It takes great timing to do that and be consistent.
Boy, he carried that 10-pin like I used to watch you carry that 7.
Let's not get nasty now, Mike.
No, watch this double love tap here.
Yep, just enough. This could be the match of the year on the Senior Tour. Current Player of the Year against the guy who would take over his throne. Definitely, if he wins today, Gary would be the runaway Player of the Year on the Senior Tour, Gary Dickinson.
Gene-Stus, what a competitor, though. Three times now in a row, he's bowled for the title in this tournament. He beat John Handegard 2 years ago. Last year, he beat Tita Semez, 192 to 166 in a low-scoring affair. And he just missed the 10-pin. Boy, that's not the time to do it, right?
It's not the time to do it, and I think part of that is because of Gene's bad knee. He's got a little problem with that knee. You know, it's stiffened up on him, and you see him over there. See how he stands up and hops at the foul line? That'll create a pull, and that pull makes the ball roll early, and you pull it left of your target, and there's the result. So he's bowling injured, but he's still very tough.
Well, right back in there.
He's found that lane.
Gary already with a re-rack on lane 32. Big shot if he can double and get out ahead real quick here.
Let's see if he can make a better release on this shot. The last time in this lane wasn't one of his better shots. Much better shot there, but it's hooking early.
Oh, a little crossover action. You know, that may lead to a win here, and I talked to him earlier about what it would be like to win the senior championship here. This is what he had to say.
If I win, I think I should be voted in, yes. I've had a great year, and even if I don't win, I think I'd be up for grabs for it with me and Gene-Stus and John Handegard. But I've had a good year overall. I made 13 finals, and if I can win this tournament, I think I should be voted Bowler of the Year.
Is that campaigning, Mike?
I don't know that he needs to, although right through the heart this time, leaves the 6-pin.
Back-to-back good breaks. And Gary, you know, you and I have bowled with and against Gary over the years for a number of years, and I've studied his game because I like his style. And two things happen with Gary when he gets in trouble. One is, I mentioned, he opens his shoulders and then has to square them up again at the foul line. And sometimes, if you get a little quick with your feet, which you might do when you get nervous, you don't have time to square up the shoulders.
especially if you're on a lane condition that you'd think that you've got to split a board on.
Yeah, and you know, in practice, Gary was striking almost any time he wanted to, and now all of a sudden he's, you know, this is for a lot of things other than the money, which is substantial. $25,000 first place, $13,000 second, $12,000 difference. But there's a lot of prestige involved also.
Well, this man is tough.
Well, that's part of it, Mike, and that's a good point. He's bowling against a guy that's been there before. He's been player of the year. He's won this tournament twice. He's going for his 3rd consecutive win, which you brought up with his major point. Gary's got his hands full here.
There's the score. One right here makes it virtually an even match. Ooh, boy, he thought it was going to be there, and it crept high.
I think that kind of makes it even break for break now, and so if we can bowl the rest of the match with good shots. Gene got away with one there. He had the 7-10, last pin to fall to 10, which, you know, is considered obviously an impossible spare. Now just the easy spare, 7-pin. Cross speed, cross lane, cross right here, a lot of ball speed. Keep it on line.
No trouble.